Begin this hour with United States-Turkey relations, where Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan is pushing back on efforts to resolve a dispute between the United States and Turkey over Russian weapons purchases. For more, we bring in RT correspondent Sarah Montese Oka to break it all down. Sarah, there's a lot of questions that are looming as to whose weapons are going to buy, both in the past but also moving forward.
Well, Scotty, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan said that the two countries would conduct efforts until April to resolve the dispute over Turkey's purchase of the Russian S400 defense systems. Now, during his trip to Qatar, Erdogan told reporters there is a process that is ongoing until April. Our defense and foreign ministers will carry out these efforts. We need to see where we get with these efforts. He added that President Trump was aware and approved a study that was aimed at looking at the deployment of these missiles and their compliance with NATO commitment. Meanwhile, Turkey has already started testing these Russian-made S400 air defense systems. This is despite threats of sanctions from the U.S. But U.S. Maryland Senator Christopher Van Hollen took to Twitter, where he said Turkey crossed another red line by starting these tests on the radar. Now, 2 weeks after his White House visit, he wrote, Erdogan is thumbing his nose at Trump, the U.S., and NATO, adding that existing laws require Trump to impose sanctions. Now, this is while U.S. senators are said to be preparing a set of economic sanctions against Turkey. Now, former Pentagon official Michael Maloof says Erdogan is playing both sides.
I think he's not only playing Trump, he's also playing Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, because he's walking a very fine line. The fact that he's testing, has just now begun to test the S400s. The question in my mind, and I'm not sure what the answer is are Russian technicians involved?
Now, this also comes weeks after President Trump met with Turkish President, reiterating that Turkey's purchase of these Russian air defense system creates some serious challenges, but he hopes they can be resolved.
Turkey's acquisition of sophisticated Russian military equipment, such as the S400, creates some very serious challenges for us, and we are talking about it constantly. We talked about it today. We're talking about it in the future. Hopefully, we'll be able to resolve that situation. We've asked our Secretary of State and Minister of Foreign Affairs and our respective national security advisors to immediately work on resolving the S400 issue.
Now, Russia's state agency, Rosabaran Export, says Ankara and Moscow are actively discussing a contract to receive more S-400 missiles. Washington has repeatedly called on Turkey to cancel the deal with Russia and already suspended Turkey from the F-35 program over this dispute. Now, the U.S. says the S-400 systems aren't compatible with NATO security standards and that they may compromise the operations of its fifth-generation F-35 fighter jets. This is a notion that Turkey has rejected. Scotty, tensions continue to mount as Turkey has no plans to cancel that deal with Russia, and they're looking to add another $2.5 billion deal in hopes to supply Turkey with more S-400 missiles as early as next year.
It's hard to clear through the debris and get right down to the nitty-gritty that is real news. New details are coming to light in the case of Jeffrey Epstein as more
spread between the 2-year Treasury yield and the 10-year Treasury yield.
Several hundred students are staging a sit-in.
The Amazon rainforest, and the blame game is underway. It's time for RT America. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button.